Welcome to Comic Kick, where we give you your weekly kick of comics. I'm Jacob Knight, and this is a Geek Press. I'm currently broadcasting from the basement where they keep all the unsold features and comics. Do you guys remember that series? Because aside from the sad backdrop, I am surrounded. So Future State Week 3, here we are. You guys didn't think we'd last. You didn't think we'd have another episode. You didn't think that we would get a crappier backdrop. Well, I'm glad to have surprised you in all those different facets of failed expectations. We have around 6 books this week that we're going to talk about, 5 of them being brand new titles, and 1 of them being a returning title, that itself being the next Batman. And before we get into other reviews, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. At the end of this year, we're trying to get 50 subscribers. Do we have high expectations? No. But if we get 50 subscribers, I will stop filming in a basement and I'll get a proper geeky backdrop. So that's one of the goals. We're going for it. Get us out of this basement. Now we're doing Future State, The Next Batman, Issue 2. Now for this issue, I love pushing more development towards our new Batman, Tim Fox, seeing him take a bit more of a detective role, which is so well known with his progenitor. It was really nice to see how he examined things with his future tech and with his own type of investigation. The art was really solid, and I thought the story moved along at a good pace and felt really snappy, and I enjoyed it. And sad enough to say, I wish this part had been in the first issue instead of those backup stories. But I understand that you want to keep each issue with some variation with these other side stories. So let's just talk about the other side. This side story had Batgirls, Cassandra Cain, and Stephanie Brown, and art was pretty good. Story is serviceable. I'm tired of seeing these heroes very much down on their luck, and that's not really what I hoped from Future State, but it's another story of, oh, she went evil. Oh wait, no, she's actually good. Oh, what happened? But the story itself was serviceable, nothing too much to complain about. Next up is Shazam. And what's funny about this book is that I haven't seen the movie and I have very limited knowledge of the character, yet this book did a well enough job of piquing my interest and making me want more from this story. I like Shazam, I like the team that he set up while he's currently fighting crime, and I kind of love the twist at the end where you find out his situation, and it's like, oh wow, this whole time this has been happening. And it's kind of a rug that they pull under you because it has so many different ramifications of how the character is and how they're acting, and I thought it was a genuinely good surprise. So although I can't speak as someone who is a Billy Batson fan, I might be able to say, hey, this is out of character, but as someone who is new to the character and their mythology and whatever their team or friends might be, I thought this was interesting and I'm on board. This is a total buy. And the art was really good, and one of my favorite Teen Titans is the Titan Bunker, so he showed up. I am happy. Next up is Catwoman, and this one is also a buy. I want to quickly just mention real quick, the art is done by Otto Schmidt, who I follow on Twitter, and I'm a big fan of their artwork. It's so good, and the color looked beautiful, and the lines were just so sharp, and it's so, I love the art here. The problem with these books is that because a lot of these are varied artists and varied writers that aren't necessarily experienced or well known for doing said characters, sometimes these characters can feel kind of off or different from the ones you already identify with. But with this version of Catwoman, although we don't get too much of her personality, it's very much in her actions is revealed what type of person she is. And I felt like this was Catwoman. This was a very good representation of Catwoman. She's a thief. Once again, we're back in Gotham fighting the magistrate, the evil police state guy in charge of everything. And I thought her story of robbing this train was very interesting. Of course, as the rest of the stories, I'm not going to go into it in case you want to read it, but I had a good time reading this book. This is totally a buy. I had fun. I had actual fun. Which is interesting because a lot of these magistrate dystopian stories I've kind of liked. I could have liked the writing, but I weirdly get depressed, like, oh, here they are again. This one had a lot of fun to it. It had a lot of like enjoyable energy, if that makes sense. So I was down for this Catwoman book. Next up is Future State Nightwing. Now the thing about this one is that this book also takes place before Teen Titans. So if you saw our review last time when we were talking about Teen Titans, this takes place before. So you don't have to worry about those timelines of those events kind of clashing for now. Now this is another story where he's in Gotham fighting the magistrate, Batman is dead, and everyone's like, what's happening? And he's kind of this resistance leader. Now, like I said in the previous Catwoman book, I was weirdly enjoying this dystopian tale. The first 2 weeks, I kind of got tired of the dystopia theme and just like let them be happy. But it's just the way that this one was framed as Nightwing being such a cool rebel leader and being so freaking competent and strong and really taking on this really prominent role as this very important character that I just really enjoyed. So it was the framing, I suppose, that really got me into this book. I'm talking a lot with my hands, I realize that. But when I edit this video, I don't know if you'll be able to see my hands. So just know that this entire video, if you see me moving, it's because I'm going like this. Real quick, let me know if you guys want a longer format, detailed evaluation of the comics. Like I could do 5 to 6 minutes of each book and then kind of give you a roundup, but it'll be a longer video. Or these are usually around like 10 minutes. So if you want me to just do one book, I can do one book for like 10 minutes and just dissect it and go story by story. If you guys ever watched Casually Comics, don't watch these videos. Watch Casually Comics. She does good work. She does good work. And Keep Joel. If you're looking for comic book channels, Keep Joel, Casually Comics. Those two are, I'm a big fan of both of them. Go subscribe. Next is The Immortal Wonder Woman. For the Immortal Wonder Woman story, it's very much one that takes place in the future, far away from all the timelines we've been seeing with every other book. And it's about her, a much older Wonder Woman, while the Earth is basically destroyed and she's one of the last defenders and champions of it. And you get to see kind of the last moments before a world-threatening attack comes to the Earth. So you're gonna get to see how she's grown and interacted. And frankly, I've read this story about maybe 4 or 5 times. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I'm gonna have to wait. This feels like something that I'm gonna have to wait for the next issue to decide how I feel, because I feel like the execution of this story in overall as a whole is gonna really help me decide. Because right now I'm just like, okay, I want to see where this goes. Maybe it's not my favorite rendition of Wonder Woman, but I do want to see how this goes. And there's another story in this one, a backup story about Nubia, which is another Wonder Woman. She was cool. I wish this book had more about her, because it very much feels like the type of story that you'd get in 30 issues in when they've already established the character and it's just kind of her going on adventures. So although I thought she was fun and interesting, and I was curious by the situation she was in, I just wish I knew more about her, because I don't even know what Amazon tribe she's from, because I know there are different Amazon tribes all over the world and I don't know where she's from. But I'm down for more Nubia. Let's do it. Let's go. And this one, if you like Wonder Woman, I would say buy. Last but not least, Superman Worlds at War. Now right off the bat, this should buy. You should buy this one. It was so fun and interesting. And it's another one of those books where the A story about the character in question on the title of this comic book, I wanted more of. Let's just talk about the backup stories with that book. So it's a continuation of Mr. Miracle, and another one about Midnighter. Although I know more about Midnighter and I enjoy him, these two side stories, these do not pique my interest as much as the Superman story. For this one, Superman is barely in it. It's very much about what Superman means to people after he's gone, his legacy as Superman, and how that is interpreted through so many different eyes. And our kind of entryway character into the situation says something that I thought was really powerful, that Superman didn't save them, Clark Kent did. At the end of the day, no matter how you interpret Superman, I think one of the most vital aspects to his character, and any interpretation of the character, is the fact that he is a symbol of hope. And that is what the story really nails. The fact that while he can be known for his powers, for his great deeds, for whatever villain he fought, at the end of the day, he is a symbol of hope. It's the ironic idea that the most alien among us is the most human of us all, and that he can bring humanity together as this paragon of hope and the strive to do better. And that was just nailed on the head in this book. And it was so cool, interesting to read. And what sucks is that I just wish that story had continued on throughout the entire book. Like those backup stories, you're fine. But I want more Superman. More Superman. And also super abs. I don't think it matters what gender or sexuality you are. We can all appreciate the super abs. Well, that's kind of it for me for this weekly roundup of Future State. Did you enjoy this little recollection of the books? So don't forget to check out our social medias down in the description down below and watch more videos and just enjoy our presence. And I hope you're being safe and healthy. I have been Jacob Knight with the Geek Press, and this has been Comic Kick, and make sure you come back next time for your weekly kick of comics. Check you later.